Cate, you have written a book at a very, very, very high level. Tell me about the decision to write a book, because it's a lot of fucking work. Like, why'd you decide to do this?
Well, first I have to say I have an incredible co-author in my husband who is a far better writer than me. And that was really instrumental in my decision to write the book. Um, uh, I think it's just like, I don't know if this sounds weird, but it's like a book that wanted to exist.
Mm.
Like, it came initially out of the very first Substack post that I did, which was called How to Be More Agentic. It was just like a list of tips on how to increase your personal agency. When I posted that, I had no subscribers, basically. I got thousands of subscribers from it, had multiple book editors reach out to me and be like, do you want to write a book about this? Mm-hmm. So it was just like a really, really strong reaction. And then it just kind of like, that stuck with me. My interest in writing about it stuck with me. And it seemed like there was a lot of momentum building up around this concept of agency as like a thing that people should want to have. And that was true a year ago when we first started working on the book. It's like, seems to be kind of reaching a fever pitch now where everybody wants to talk about how to be more agentic. So the timing seems right. The audience is there. I feel like I learned how to be agentic really late in life. So I was always very successful, but I think pretty low agency until the point where I stopped being a lawyer and became a poker player. And I've also been through some really serious challenges in life, including drug addiction and recovery from that equipped me with this like toolkit for being more agentic. And I think like there's a lot of discourse about agency right now. Mm-hmm. There are some aspects of that discourse that I don't like. So I don't like the idea that agency is like a thing that you have or you don't, the way like people are tall or short or they're like have high intelligence. I think that is mistaken, that agency is like a learnable set of behaviors. And I don't like the way that it is associated with like dark triad traits.
Yeah.
It's like the people who are, the title of the book is You Can Just Do Things. And it's funny because that has increasingly become like a rallying cry, both for people who are a little bit sociopathic and for people who are making fun of the sociopaths. Yeah. Like, oh, well, that's a really freighted title that we've chosen. But I don't like that. I think agency is a generally useful thing to have. I have worked in the last 5 years with a lot of people who are extremely pro-socially motivated, very hardworking, but maybe like lower naturally in agency. And I love the idea of like making this skill set accessible to a broader range of people.
Mm-hmm. One question I have about this, about the concept of agency, right? And I think for people that are watching this, stop watching it and go, firstly, go buy the book, but also go watch Cate's TED Talk about agency, which I also think is really and I think you break it down really well. One thing that I think is sort of underreported in this whole conversation around agency, and I want to get your perspective on this, is, people talk about it like an immovable, unchangeable trait, as opposed to like a muscle that can be trained, right? One part I'm curious about is like, what does it feel like to have agency? How have you sort of felt that difference in your life of going from a person that had less agency to a person that has a lot more agency? What does that difference feel like day to day for you?
It has made my life so much better. I think agency from the inside just feels like freedom. There are so many more things that I believe that I'm capable of doing now than I believe that I was capable of doing at age 30. As much as I've gotten like smarter or harder working or any of these other things, it's just like I've learned to really question a lot of assumptions that I was placing around my life when I was younger, and realize there's just a lot of options. There's a lot of freedom in life, and there's a phrase in the book that I use that I borrowed from my friend Eli Dorado, which is reverse imposter syndrome. It's this this feeling of becoming interested in something, taking action to express that interest, and having a felt sense that even though you don't know what you're doing, you will be able to figure it out. And that is something that I have developed over the course of many career changes. It's now just like so fun. I can, I've been on sabbatical for the last several months while I'm like promoting the book. I'm starting to think about what I'm doing next. It's so fun to be able to think about like the entire range of activities that a human can do, and figure out what is interesting to me and have the confidence that I'll be able to figure out how to do it. Totally not at all the way that I lived when I was in my 20s, and it's just better.
Yeah. Does it bother you at all what category your book will be placed in at the bookstore? Does it bother you that they're going to put you probably put you in a self-help?
Yeah,
Do you have control over that as an author?
I don't. I think my publisher might. It probably goes on like personal development, which is another, the same thing. I think it doesn't bother me at all. And perhaps I've just gotten used to the idea at this point, because if you told me years ago that I would have written a self-help book, I would have probably cringed until I died. But yeah, I think that like part of the reason that I have that reaction is most self-help is useless. And it is, the audience for self-help is often people who like want to be assigned homework that will be comfortable to them and give the illusion of change without actually being high leverage. And I think this book is something different. Hopefully enough people will find it that they will be able to draw that conclusion too.
The other part of that question is, who do you hope finds it? Yeah, who do you hope finds it? And then I guess the last thing there would be, how do you hope they feel after they've read the book?
I think it's really a book for a popular audience. And I think that is not normal. Like, most books are not written for just like the world in general. They're written with a sort of niche in mind. When I was thinking about whether to write a book, almost everybody I talked to said, don't do it. Just write Substack articles. And I think it's like a certain demographic of people is on Substack, and you can reach them more reliably just writing a bunch of articles than you can writing a book. However, there are a lot more people in the world than that, and there's like huge swaths of people who have never interacted with Substack in their lives. I wanted it to be something that is accessible to that broader range of people. I think that the book is like timely for a lot of different demographics, because I think people feel acutely the like existential uncertainty of the period that we're passing through, whether that's from politics or AI or something else. There's this sort of stifling feeling of uncertainty, like what the hell is the world going to look like? What is my place going to be in the world? And I'm hoping that this book is helpful for people in confronting that uncertainty and figuring out how to move forward.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You Can Just Do Things by Cate Hall. You can get it anywhere, but go to your local bookstore and request it. It is a fantastic book. Could not recommend it more.
You Can Just Do Things: How High Agency People Get What They Want by Cate Hall and Sasha Chapin. Out now wherever books are sold.